What up, baby? Welcome to the crew and you. Congratulations to my dog, Chuck Little John, the OG.
Y'all didn't notice I've been changing hats all night, have you?
No.
You've been doing
That
it.
way no sense.
And so, look, let me tell you, those dudes were the first one that I ever seen with the full tracksuit, and no drawers. You know what I'm saying?
Understand that you can be at the bottom. You can be anything you want to be. And when that happens, you can be a champion like me.
Can you imagine 100 people just all yelling?
With the crew and you, to the crew and you. With the crew and you, to the crew and you. What's up, everybody? I'd like to welcome you to the crew and you. Let me see here. I'm your boy KD, and on the ones and twos. And to the left of me, my man G, and on the bottom of us, my man Remus. What's happening, everybody? Uh-oh, man, something going on with my camera.
Yeah, you got.
Is that me that's doing this, G, or that who's doing that?
You got a lot of technical difficulties going on over there.
Boy, what you talking about? There we go. G, can I hear you? Let's see. There you go, G.
Yeah, I hear you.
There we go.
I had you on mute.
Oh, okay.
I can hear you.
I don't know why my camera keeps shutting in and out, but I'd like to welcome everybody to the crew and you. We got my man G on assignment, but he's muting himself too. Are you mute, G?
Yeah, I just muted because I ain't want y'all to hear the background noise. Yeah.
Oh, okay. But like if you can recognize one of the guys don't look like how to say one of these players are not like the other. One of these players are not the same. My man Remus is stepping in with me. Goodness gracious, what's going on? This camera sucks, y'all. So I'll be speaking from the avatar. Remus, my man, how you feeling today?
Hanging in there. I'm kind of deterred by the events that happened over the past few days with the draft, but I guess we'll get into that when the subject presents itself.
Right. So tell you what, before we do that, like my man always say, let me for our first segment, let's see if we can get my man my man Alvin Jameson. Yes. The camera ain't working for me.
Maybe the camera, it was working when I got here. Is that working?
Yeah. G, can you put the music up? Or do you have that access?
Are you in the market for a new home or looking to refinance your conventional, FHA, or VA loan? The crew and you have the perfect guy for you, the mortgage guy, Alvin Jameson. That's right, Alvin Jameson at alvinjameson.com. You can also reach him as we do at 404-587-9033. Financing a home can be one of the biggest investments you can make. Go with the one, the crew and you trust, Alvin Jameson. And when you reach out to him, let him know you heard from the crew and you.
Thank you, Alvin Jameson, for being a great sponsor of our first segment. Let's see if I can take this off. I'm terrible at this. All right, there we go.
Oh my God.
My bad. Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
There you go. Listen, like I said, you can tell if y'all can tell, G is on assignment right now, so I'm stepping in and I'm doing a terrible job. Nevertheless, let's get right into this, man. You know, this weekend to me, and I'm going to ask y'all the same. I mean, was one of the most, I want to say, controversial drafts that we have yet to see. Now at the same time, I know your guys were watching it just like me. And Remus being a guest, I'll start with you. Tell me your thoughts on this draft for 2025.
Well, this draft, it had a lot of talent. However, this was one of the most obvious forms of collusion that I've ever witnessed due to the hands of the NFL. You can't tell me that Shadur Sanders is he got drafted in the a fifth round talent, and it's obvious that there was a blatant conclusion from the higher ups to see that this young man was drafted in the fifth round. So that kind of rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, and yeah, I wasn't feeling that. I'm telling you the truth. So.
Yeah, trust me, I'm the same way. And I think from a nationwide standpoint, a lot of people were disappointed in the NFL. G, how you feel about it, brother?
He said,
Hmm? Can you hear?
uh,
Yeah.
There you go. What's up, Crystal?
What's up, Fred? Lauren.
Yeah, I was just asking how you felt about the draft too.
Um, I thought draft overall was an amazing draft, man. The
Hey,
like
okay.
Remus said, the talent in the draft was high level talent. From rounds 1 through 7, I thought it was really really well. And and I heard him say something about the collusion that was happening with Shador Sanders. I'm gonna give y'all a different point on that whole situation that actually my wife and I was talking about. So this draft was the most viewed draft ever, except for 2020,
From a positive standpoint or negative?
when everybody was in the house with COVID. Huh? What?
Positive standpoint or negative?
So everybody watched it throughout because everybody, COVID 2020, everybody was in the house watching TV. Everybody had
Right.
nothing else to do.
Right.
But the the media know that normally after the first, second round, nobody watches the draft. So this time, everybody was involved in the draft. Everybody was watching the draft because everybody was watching to see if Shador was going to get drafted. So everybody watched all the way until the fifth and sixth round because of this reason. So could it be that the NFL actually set this up so they can get more views? Because we know what the NFL is. The NFL is a league that wants to make money. They're about the business. We all expected him to go to Cleveland at 2. And where did he end up going? Cleveland in the fifth round. Still went to the same team. Nothing changed, but everybody watched.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna rebuttal that. When you get picked in the round that you get picked matters because uh, a first round draft pick is not going to make the same money as a second round as well as a third round. He got picked in the fifth round. That means his NIL deal was significantly more than his NFL contract's about to be, and he's not coming into the 2020 25 season viewed as a starter or a potential a potential prospect to start. He's coming in as the fifth quarterback on that depth chart. They
Right.
drafted Dylan Gabriel in the third round, who's going to be making more money than he is coming in. So that has an effect. So that's why I'm gonna disagree with that last statement. If their plan was get um to keep everybody interested, to keep viewers engaged and stuff like that, they would have got um Shadur with the third instead of Dylan Gabriel with the third. They chose to get Dylan Gabriel, and when they were done with all the prospects, who else is out there? Shadur. If you look at the draft room when they picked them, they wasn't even too happy about it. They wasn't. You see all these draft experts in these draft rooms. They clapping, giving each other high fives. They look stale when they picked them. They said, we got them. Yeah. All right. It is what it is. Type vibe. So I don't. Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely something fishy that needs to be. I don't know if they got like some type of
Could it could it
union.
be
You said what?
could it be their excitement wasn't there anymore because they knew what the league was doing and probably didn't agree with what the league was doing. They 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 wanted to draft them early, but they said, "Man, we got to play this game with the NFL for views."
Mm,
And at the same time, you have you said the money part. Yeah, he's making more money in that 1 year that he was making in the NIL, but over the lifetime of the deal, he's gonna make more money in the game. And then who you think is gonna be the poster of the Cleveland Browns? It ain't gonna be Dylan Gabriel.
it's
So
not gonna be good.
when they come with all the sponsorships, who's gonna get all those sponsorships? It's gonna be the Shadur Sanders. So he's gonna make his money back up.
Uh,
That's if they keep him on the roster.
if they
We
keep
don't know.
because
We
he's
don't
a
know if
good,
they. We don't know if they picked him because they were pressed to do that. They were pressured to do that because, like you said, they should have done it too. But how do we know that? Like you said, if this is collusion, because when you look at that GM, if you look at the executive vice president of team operations, he wasn't happy. You know,
not
was
at
this a
all.
set? Like I said, was this a setup? Was this a situation where, like I said, they took this dude under duress? Because they, like I said, they picked 6 other players before him.
Right,
And they had a lot of picks this draft,
right,
which, like I said, didn't make much sense to me. Then at the same time, you picked like I said, you picked Gabriel, which he was ranked number 7 on the quarterback depth chart. I just don't understand where the disrespect came from.
mm. And I heard your previous take. I'm gonna throw another take towards your way, and y'all can agree with me or not. Um, Earlier, prior to the draft, when Shador was viewed as a high prospect, Dion came out and he said that he was gonna block certain teams from um, from drafting his son because he's been in the NFL and he knows the development on whether certain quarterbacks can go or whatnot. So there was somebody posted on social media a quote that Dion said a few years back. This was before he was a head coach and before Colorado Buffaloes and stuff like that. But nevertheless, he did say it. He said, "The Browns. I know they're doing a lot of major good things. This is one of the Browns' down years because we know the Browns had a lot of down years, but this particular year, the Browns had a lot of picks and they're in their rebuild stage. And he said, I see that the Browns, what they're doing with all these picks and they're making a lot of moves. However, uh, if I was if I was in the situation, I would not allow my son to go to the Browns. I would pull a Eli Manning. So I was talking to my brother the other day, and could Dion have been put in a situation where he initially blocked the Browns and said, "Yo," because he said he was going to meet with. He had a few teams that he was going to block his son going to. He said this back in February on the late night show. He said, there are a couple teams. I'm going to have that conversation behind closed doors. So you're never going to know the teams. We don't know the teams. Um, However, could the Browns have been one of the teams initially? And when it got to the fifth round, he had that conversation and said, "Okay, I'll unblock it. Y'all can go ahead and draft my son."
I, I don't know if he has a choice in the matter. Even if you say you can unblock my son, go ahead and draft my son. And I remember him. I remember on the Tamaron show, he said, "I'm a father. I'm gonna be a father first." I remember that statement, but at the same time, listen, if you make that statement and they don't want to draft you, they probably ain't gonna draft you. You know, but you think they're gonna wait to the sixth round and then
Is
pick
that
him?
me or is that Corey?
What? Can you hear me?
Okay, I couldn't hear you. I hear you now. Yeah.
Okay. What I was saying was, and I believe I remember when Dion made those statements that he wouldn't want his son to go to the Browns because of how their organization is ran. He loves
Right,
the change that they're making, but he'll never want his son there. But are
right.
you telling me that you think that they waited to the sixth round to either punish or to call Dion to say, "Listen, change your statement and we'll draft your son"? You think that's what he's saying?
I think so. It's possible. What if it was a message to by the higher ups in the NFL? Look, nobody's above the process. It was like, not even you. It was like, so you can do it our way, or you could keep watching your son fall. And at the fifth round, Dion caved. He was like, okay, fine, whatever, I'll do it. He was like, I won't do it my way. We can do it your way,
I
and
don't. Go ahead.
he committed to the process.
I think that's a little bit far fetched for me anyway. I mean, more or less, but I'm thinking more because it wasn't Browns. There was your team especially. Like I said, when they got the one, and this dude is still the number 2, 3, 4, 5 prospect out there. They skipped him. Las Vegas, they need a quarterback. They skipped him. You know, I think it's more of a league situation versus just one team. Now, the thing that's crazy about the Browns is they had way more picks than these other teams that needed a quarterback. You
Right.
know, but in my head, let me tell you, like, so you know how, like I said, we can think controversial on these theories, but in my head, what I'm thinking was they wanted to send a message to the Sanders family that you are not the Manning family.
But
You are the Sanders family. You can't do what the Manning family did and say, I don't want my son to go here or I want my son to go there. We get to choose who you go to, or not saying we get to choose, but we'll put the pressure or the leverage on these teams to tell you where you can and can't go. Because honestly, once they did let the gauntlet go, then all the other Colorado players got picked. You feel what I'm
right,
saying?
right. Uh, and also, a side note: the Elways also did the same thing that the Mannings did too. So,
Yeah. You're right. You're right.
right,
Because he said he'll go back. He'll go back playing baseball if you don't let my son go to
right,
because I can't remember what team it was supposed to be, but that's how he ended up at the Broncos because he was like, I go back and play baseball before I play for, I don't know if it was the Chargers or what team it was, but you're right.
right. hmm But
Hmm. Go
uh,
ahead.
that definitely is a possibility as well. But I feel like uh, they would have Dion would have had to somewhat come to terms with the situation. Be like, okay, I realize what's going on, and oh, and I'm willing to submit to the process or whatnot because um uh this is how I feel. I feel like he had a strong hold that, okay, yeah, I don't want my son to go to the Browns if that was the case. It was like, okay, well, if you don't want him to go to the Browns, then he ain't going nowhere else. But you're not gonna start dictating where you want to go because you're setting the precedent for all the other players. Suppose in next year's draft, Arch Manning, I'm not going to use Arch. Nico Ave decides, oh yeah, he has all that those controversies with Tennessee. He decides he wants to stay on the West Coast, so I'm going to block all the teams on the East Coast or whatnot. It sets a dangerous precedent for uh, these young up and coming college quarterbacks, and I feel like uh, the higher ups in the NFL wanted to let Deion Sanders' son uh, be somewhat of the example. Be
Mm.
like, hey, this is the way things go in my league. Type.
Galen, what do you think the breakdown happened?
And so, if it wasn't the way I was trying to explain it to y'all before, then the other way is this. The league was trying to make an example out of Deion Sanders and Shador Sanders. And
That's what it is.
the them saying, look here, yeah, Eli Manning did it with his dad, Archie Manning, he did the same thing, but we learned our lesson. We
Right.
learned our lesson. We're not going to do this again.
Right.
So we're not gonna make the same mistake and let y'all run the league. So
Right.
you want to act like that? This is what's gonna happen for anybody else that tried to do the same thing. Your
Right.
stock is gonna drop. So I think it's either one of those two things where, and, yeah, wife said it could be both or why it
Yeah.
happened. So
Possible.
yeah. So let let me ask y'all this, man. So now that he is in Cleveland, and I heard y'all say that he may now be subject to waivers or getting released
Or practice squad.
or practice squad. Do you think any of them other quarterbacks can beat him out of that position though?
Beat him out of fifth round, fifth depth chart.
That position, the quarterback position.
Well,
Because
right now,
honestly, I feel like
as it stands,
he's if
you
he's
breaking up.
not the best, Joe Flacco is the I say Joe Flacco is the best one in the world.
Right. Uh, right now, as it stands, and they show the breakdown of the quarterback depth chart or whatever. Deshaun Watson's on top, of course, with the $300 million, $200 million guaranteed deal, but he's going to miss the 2025 season, so he's most likely going to go on IR. After Deshaun Watson is Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett is viewed as the primary backup to Deshaun Watson. So Kenny Pickett is slated to be the starter. The season hasn't started, so we don't know what's going to transpire. After that is Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco, veteran. He every single time he gets opportunity, he still makes plays though. But I don't know if me personally, I would trust. How old is Joe Flacco? About 40, 50?
Close
Something
to it,
like
if not. I mean, I know he's getting
that.
close to it.
Yeah, I don't know if I would trust a 40 or 50-year-old quarterback to take the reins for a whole entire 17 game season. So that's something to watch or whatever. He more so likely has a is going to be you viewed as a mentor towards the younger quarterbacks. There's a lot of young quarterbacks on that roster. Then Dylan Gabriel. Dylan Gabriel got picked with the third pick. So I don't know too many third round picks that get cut or get sent to the pick to the practice squad, or traded for that matter. So I'm pretty sure he's gonna be on that roster regardless. And then after those four quarterbacks, you got Shadur, who was drafted in the fifth. The I'm not saying that he can't earn a starting quarterback job because the San Fran a few years back, San Fran drafted Brock Purdy with the last overall pick, and he's kind of viewed as the face of the franchise today. But
Right.
the
As Mr.
road
Irrelevant.
the road going to fifth on the depth chart to starting is going to be much harder than it was if you would have been a first, a second, a third. Because if you break down the draft chart, first through third, first round picks, first and second round picks, they're expected to start. Some point in the season, they're expected to start. Third round picks, they're more so expected to get significant play time. Fourth, fifth, those are your developmental players, and sixth and seventh, those are your flyers. He got picked in the fifth, so right now he's viewed as a developmental player.
Right.
So,
So go ahead, G.
so where I'm gonna disagree with you on that is you get you get drafted, but you go by they go where are ranked. He's ranked as a first round talent or a second round talent at the least. So yeah, he got picked in the fifth round, but he's not a fifth round player. So I think he will move of the depth chart a little faster than a Dylan Gabriel. Well, I think Gabriel got picked way too early. And there's no way he's a third round quarterback. Um, so that's just why I think.
So this is the thing. Whenever you get drafted from 5, 6, and 7, like Remus was saying, you are at a different pay grade at this point. At the same time, all of them haven't been offered a contract yet. So I see it one or two different ways. Even with Dylan Gabriel, they've been drafted, but they haven't been offered contracts yet. Now, as a fifth, sixth, seventh rounder, their only option is to give you a 1-year deal when you're that low on the depth chart. But at the same time, you still got to make the roster first. You got to go through training camp before you get a actual deal. Now, some people get a deal up front. Like if you are a first rounder, you know you're going to get at least, the 4-year, 20, sometimes 4. I think it's higher now. I think it's 48 now. But you're going to get that 4-year deal. Now, with the get the more, let's say, well, I guess the less the contract is in terms of weight, in terms of value. Now, if they're bringing him in so they can stop him, or to say, listen, we can go ahead and the best thing that'll happen, somebody may pick him up, but at the same time, because we understand that the Cleveland Browns have a dysfunctional organization, they may not treat the dude well. I do still feel like because of that, picked him under duress. They picked him, I guess, crazy reasons or whatever with the league, but I'm not sure if they know what they've done. I don't know if they picked him because they made a mistake or what. That's just my personal opinion because of how they've done in the past.
Right. Reflecting back on some of the decisions that the Browns made, they tend to that's been their MO for years. They get the loud players. I remember once upon a time they drafted Greedy Williams. Greedy Williams was viewed as one of the well, in college he was viewed as one of the I guess premier corners or whatever. He was very obnoxious. They got him with the later rounds or whatever. He didn't really pan out with them, but those are the type of they're used to making decisions like that. Johnny Manziel, very boisterous player. So when they got him, there was a lot of hype behind them. But I feel like their franchise have been, making controversial moves for as long as I can remember. Y'all a little bit older than me, so I don't know how long they've been going in the wrong direction, but I don't know. This is one of them type of things that they're I guess they're viewed as making controversial decisions isn't uh, foreign for them, so they can keep continuing to make controversial decisions. He was like, instead of doing this, we're gonna do this, and then we're gonna get everybody on board. So, yeah.
Mm.
Okay, that's fair. I mean, the, it's the various ways that it could have went, it could have gone, and the reasons why we would never know. I think I know overall, I've never been more excited to see a um, fifth round pick get picked. And I was so excited, man. I stood up and clapped when they finally drafted Shaduer Sanders, man. So uh, it was exciting and upsetting at the same time,
Yeah,
to see all that happen. So,
Damn
um,
sure bittersweet.
I feel like it
so
was
with
more. I feel like it was more
what?
upsetting to me because um well, one thing y'all know, I'm a Steeler fan, and I have no choice but to hate him until he gets off that roster. But praying for his downfall. But
So let's
but
do this here because I've been watching Steeler Nation from a standpoint of social media. Now I'll be honest with you, when 21 came up and he was still available. Now I'll be straight. I've seen so many TikToks and Instagrams where Steeler fans were like, "We finna get you door. We finna get you door." What? Hey, I ain't gonna lie. Like one of my barbers called me. He wants to come on the show too. I'm trying to see if I can send him the link. But did you not, when 21 came, did you not feel like you guys were gonna pick Shaduer Sanders as a Steeler fan? Tell me how you feel. I know you just said you gotta hate on him right now, but when you guys were up, did you not, like Steeler Nation, think that you guys were gonna hire or not hire, but draft Shaduer Sanders?
it's funny that you said that because I was at work during the draft, and then I was like, okay, I just knew a team was gonna trade up before and get him. I was like, oh yeah, somebody about to make a move, whatever. And then when we got there, we was at 21. I guess I prematurely celebrated. So I was like, oh yes, we got it. And then we picked the player that we picked is not bad. Don't get me wrong, but we picked them kind of early or whatnot. I guess the Steelers was high on them, so the pick was in and whatnot. I was like, yes. He was like, I'm gonna get me a Shaduer Sanders jersey. I'm gonna order it like tonight when I get home and all this other stuff. We got our quarterback for the future. I can't wait. It was like I'm gonna fly out to Pittsburgh and I'm gonna go to some of the games and stuff like that. And then they announced the pick. I've never been more shocked in my life. I was I was working, and then they said Darian Harmon. I was like, everybody looked at me like something had happened. It was like, what's going on? What's going on? What happened? There's a fire or something? And he was like, I just witnessed something. I can't talk about it right now. I'm trying to process it through my head. I don't understand anything. Like this doesn't make any sense. So I was like, okay, it's fine. Second round's gonna come around. We're gonna trade back up because we didn't have a second round pick. We're gonna trade back up into the second, and then we're gonna get Shaduer. And then we didn't make that trade. I was like, okay, all right. I was like, all we gotta do is hold down to 3. It was like just the 3. So our pick came back again, 21. I was like, all right. It was like, don't mess this up for me. Don't mess this up for me. And then we picked another player. I said, wait a second, hold on now. Something ain't right. This doesn't make any sense. It was like, there's no way Shaduer can fall past us twice. And then Cleveland came on the board, and then they picked Dylan Gabriel. I was like, oh, okay, I see what's going on. Yeah, there's no hiding it now. It's too obvious right now. So that was my mindset during the whole ordeal.
Oh, Lord, hold up. There you go. Go ahead, G.
Man, yeah, that's great conversation, man. In our second segment, man, let's talk about our teams and how you think your team did. Um, Shador, I'm happy for Shador, happy for the Sanders family. Shiloh did not get drafted like I said he wouldn't, but he did get picked up. We'll talk
Right.
about that as well in our second segment, man. But before we go into our second segment, let's give our wonderful sponsor a shout out, Cooking Dad, Drink Reviews.
Everybody drink responsible.
You won't want to take the opinion of a stranger. That type of advice is just not for you, because you're at that time of the day where you don't want to waste your money, and your plan is to throw back a shot or two. You're not necessarily an alcohol person, and picking out a brand is fairly new. If you want something to go with your burger, possibly a steak, then check out Cooking Dad's Drink Reviews. Remember, drink responsibly and click that subscribe too, and go with the one the crew and you trust. Cooking Dash Drink Reviews.
Yep. So, G, what's your second subject, brother?
Let's talk about your team. How do you
Oh,
feel your team did in the draft?
so honestly, man, this year, as far as my draft grade, um, I'll be honest with you. I think we stuck to a plan which was defense. And so we stuck with that, and we kind of stayed with it. And I ain't gonna lie to you, I am ecstatic that we have beefed the defense up as best we did. I'm actually giving us a grade of a B. Considering now, I ain't gonna lie, the two safeties, I think we could have and probably did better with, but I see what he was doing. He was trying to stack it, and all we did was we just stuck to the plan, and that was defense. Pound them with defensive picks, no offensive picks. So I understood the plan. You know what I'm saying? So I'm actually pretty good with mine.
A B. That's kind of a. I thought y'all did better than B. Tell you the truth. That was one of the better Falcon drives I've ever witnessed. Uh, I gave y'all an A. Jalen Walker out of UGA, he's going to be a monster for y'all. He's going to be serious for years to come. James Pierce, the only reason why he dropped into the second round is because he has character issues. But the talent is there. He is if he didn't have character issues, I promise you he would have won in the first. He's going to be a monster rusher off that end, and yeah, especially in a few years, I definitely see him being a pivotal starter for y'all. And y'all also
Let me pause you right there. So when you said character issues, and I'm going back to Shaduer. I know we didn't. I hate to go back to where we were, but this is the thing. When you said character issues, I was thinking about that. Not for Shaduer, whenever that one guy that came out, and I hate to go back to the first segment, but I know we missed a few things that I wanted to express myself about. When that coach came out and said that he seemed to be entitled, he had some character flaws. Not one time have you heard anything about Shaduer, about any offseason issues, about anything that he's done, about any trouble that he's been through. Even my team, we drafted guys that had, like you just said, some character issues. He's never had a character issue, and we even took a chance on a person that has a character issue. You know why? Because he can play football. Now he could probably get past it, but the fact that Shaduer was treated that way, I thought was terrible. Now on top of that, this man got pranked, by a person that
disgusting.
Yeah, and like I said, let me tell you something. It was one. So one of our Falcons staff members, that was his son. He came out and made an apology about it, but the fact that it was, because now we're talking about the Falcons. So I want to be transparent. It did come from a Falcon leak, and he came out and made an apology today, but this man did not deserve that. Now, at the same time, to go back to what you were saying, as far as like say one of my guys, yes, he does have character issues, but and like you said, he's going to be a great part of this establishment. Even a person with character flaws went ahead of Shaduer, But I ain't mean to cut you off, Remus, but I ain't want to lose my train of thought. Continue.
And then Xavier Watts. I'm not sure if y'all are aware who Xavier Watts is.
The safety, yeah.
But he's a dog as well. He's one of the better safeties. I've seen him play for a few years now. But when he first got his start, he is a premier safety, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he can do alongside of what's buddy named Jesse Bates.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's going to be a dangerous secondary. Once he gets his first start, I'm not sure if y'all are going to start him right away or if he's going to, but I'm pretty sure he's going to earn that starting job before the season's over. So look forward to that. He's going to cause a lot of chaos for a lot of quarterbacks. So that's why I gave y'all an A. I wasn't really sure about who y'all picked outside of those three, but with those three names alone, yeah, I'm giving y'all an A.
That's what's up. So Like I said, in rounds one, like you said, we picked Jalen, Jalen Walker. In rounds, I think our next pick was round um
2.
three. Now did we get a second round pick? But our second one, I think it was three, right?
No, James Pierce
Well,
will definitely
well,
went.
that's the same. James Pierce, he went number 26. I'm sorry, yeah, we had 15, then we moved up to
Oh,
26.
so y'all traded back into the first.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
yeah. No, yeah, right. And then we got James Pierce Jr., edge rush. We got two edge rushes back to back.
Right.
And then next we got, like I said, safety Xavier Watts at pick number 96. 118 was Billy Bowman Jr. And our last pick of the draft, offensive tackle, Jack Nelson. Jack Nelson. So one of the kids came from Notre Dame, Georgia. Was it Ohio State that we got? Where was James Pierce from? Do you know?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. Yeah.
Tennessee.
Yeah. Okay. So like I said, I mean, I'm glad you gave it a A, but I give it a solid B. I give it a solid B. What about you, Remus?
My team.
Yes.
Uh, I'm gonna give us a A minus. We picked Darian Harmon with our first round pick. He is a pure run stopper. If you watch Oregon, he clogs up that middle. A lot of teams that play, they don't. A lot of teams that Oregon played this year, he's gonna be massively disruptive. He gives me kind of a Hayward vibes, and he's on the same team as Casey Hayward now. Cameron Hayward. So now he gets to learn from him. On our second pick, we picked what was his name? Keldon Johnson from Iowa. I'm not sure if y'all watched Iowa games, but he's a dynamic runner. He runs real hard. He's like a one cut type of running back. I compared him to who would I compare him to? Like a DeMarco Murray type of running back.
Okay. Straight up and down.
Yep, straight up and down. He's
Downhill
gonna
run.
do all
Okay.
the jobs for you. He's a 3 down back. I'm not sure if they're gonna start him right away and use Jalen Warren as the interchangeable back, or let Jalen Warren be the 3 down back and then use him as the interchangeable. But I definitely view him as getting some play time eventually. Then we got third round. Who did we get? We got did we go corner? We got, was it Yaya Black?
Is that who y'all got? I didn't remember that name, but at what position?
He's another defensive tackle. He clogs up the middle. Uh, most of our opponents, besides the Bengals, they run the ball a lot, and I'm assuming Tomlin and the gang didn't like what they saw in that Ravens game when we got eliminated from the playoffs. So we need people to clog up that middle. So that was a major priority in this latest draft. So that's what we addressed. We also got
So where you at now? I see Yaya Black. Also Will Howard,
Will
quarterback,
Howard, quarterback.
Ohio State.
Yep, he won the national championship. I don't really ever seen Will Howard becoming QB1, but in this league, with the amount of games that they play, you need a backup, and I feel like he's going to be like a solid backup for a few for years to come if that's the route that they choose. But he could win you some games. He's not terrible. The Steelers, they met with him. They brought him in for a few draft visits, and he uh, he he interviewed really well. They were really impressed with him, and they definitely was like we're gonna bring him in for further consideration. They were real high on him, and they end up getting him. So that was a good thing too. So
Mm. Let me ask you. So up until 5, when y'all pick Yaya Black, are any of these players, like I said, Derek Hartman, Caleb Johnson, Jack Sawyer, then with Yaya, are
oh, and
any
Jack
of
Sawyer's great too. He's gonna be a starter one day. I'm not sure if it's gonna be this year, but he's gonna be a starter one day.
up in like I said, up into that 5th round? Like I was saying, you could have had Shadur. If done differently, would any of these four players up into the 5th, would you have picked Shadur over these guys?
Okay, uh, that's kind of a difficult question because
I say,
if I would have picked Shador, it would have had to been with the first pick.
okay,
It couldn't have been with the third because if we would have waited longer on Kelvin Johnson, he would have been gone.
mm.
And he was one of the better running backs in this draft. Uh, Jack Sawyer, definitely. I'm not sure how Jack Sawyer fell to the third, but I'm glad he did. So yeah, that was a major steal. And then after that, oh, well, we're
After that, you got Carson Bruner and rounding off the draft, Dante Kent.
yeah, I'm not sure who they are, so I can't really put my 2 cents on those two players. But
Got
yeah, with the overall draft, I feel like it was an A-minus. It was definitely a success. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what they the product that's being put on the field.
Okay, that's what's up. All right, and rounding off, my man G. Uh, I see y'all got a lot of picks, G. Y'all got a lot of picks, and y'all banged out from 5th on down. A lot of blue collar workers on here, man. Tell me how you feel about your draft, and like I said, in detail from pick number 1 with your boy Tyler Booker.
I'm ecstatic, man. Tyler Booker is a road grader, man. He's one of the strongest offensive linemen in the draft at guard. A big boy, but a guy who, no, baby, I'm good. A guy who loves football. And that's what the Cowboys picked up this year. They picked up people that love football um, and talent. This was a, this was a this was our first year in our new coach of bringing people in that he wanted, people that he felt fit his way of coaching, man, and he showed out. I feel like the players that he got that he picked up this year, man, are not going to only help us for this season, but for years to come. The guy, the sneaker, the sleeper of this pick, this draft pick, is Rebel Junior, cornerback from
Oh,
East
Ravel.
Carolina.
Yeah,
Rebel, yeah,
yeah,
that guy is a dog.
Your
yeah.
Tore his
third pick, your
ACL,
third your third round
yeah,
pick.
yeah, he tore his ACL last year,
Right,
baby. Um, and but he'll be ready for training camp.
right.
Um, so he's going to be the sleeper pick of it all. But we were kind of like you all. We went defense, a lot of defense. We got a big run stopper and Toei from UCLA, 350 pounds Samoan, uh, who loves football. And then we got a running back, not a main guy, but we got a guy who is like Jameer Gibbs, a burner, somebody who
Which
could,
one?
Blue
Jaden Blue.
from Texas, Jaden Blue from Texas.
There you go from
So
Texas. Yeah,
yeah,
he's
from
good.
Texas, man. He's a burner. He can catch out the backfield. Um, and once he gets in the open field, it's a wrap.
Mm.
So I like what we did, man. This is probably one of the best drafts I've seen us have.
Mm.
We didn't pick up a lot of need, but we picked up talent that we can use right now. So we picked up a team. So I like it. I like what we've done, man. I'm excited. I'm excited.
What grade would you give it?
I'm giving this an A. I'm giving this an A.
That's fair.
Yeah, people are mad because we didn't pick a receiver. Honestly, I felt, and I was telling people, I felt like they like what we have at our receiving rooms.
Yeah, it
I
wasn't
think
bad.
anytime, yeah, I think anytime you lose your starting quarterback, your receivers ain't gonna look that good. You
Right.
know, so um, bringing Dak back is gonna help the receivers out. I like what we did, and then of course you pick up undrafted free agents, and we picked up a couple guys in that aspect as well. So
And
I like it,
it's
man.
still a lot. It's still a lot of wide receivers out there in free agency too, so you could
Yeah,
address that situation right now. Like Keenan Allen's still out there. He's greater than
yeah,
a lot of these prospects. So if y'all want to go that route, it's still available. Now,
absolutely.
Corey, you realize the reason why y'all went back to back pass rushers, right? I was watching that Commanders game, and we all know that Jaden Daniels is a scrambling quarterback. I've never seen the quarterback drop back in the pocket so comfortably and stare at all his wide receiver targets, drop the ball,
And
tie
still,
his shoelaces, pick it up, and then complete the pass without being rushed by the defense. And I feel like Raheem Morris saw that game and he said, "Oh yeah," he said, "We're going straight defense after
yeah.
this."
And honestly, there's no secret about it that we tried a lot of places from Judon. We lost a big piece. As far as when defense is concerned, I'm not saying on edge rush, but Grady was a big piece of defensive prowess that we end up losing too. So we had to plug in big pieces on the left and right side. Now we still keep Judon. We just needed help. We needed help with this is one of the lowest years that we had in terms of rushing. I think we tied ourselves for the lowest amount, which is I think 18 for the season, or a little bit. I think it may be 16 for the season. So that's less than a half a sack per game.
Right.
When you just got to be able to get to the quarterback, you got to be able to rush, you got to be able to hurry, you got to be able to agitate the quarterback on the other side. So I had no problem with how we did that when just focusing on defense. Same way with Simmons at the safety. We brought him in, and it was just sometimes he got burnt. Sometimes you just needed a little bit of help. Sometimes you needed somebody that was smart enough to not let somebody get past you. And like you said, it was probably some of them games right before the playoffs, or when we could have made the playoffs, when we start breaking down, that he decided, listen, edge rush and safety is where we needed the most help. And being a defensive guy, I'm hoping that he can bring us to the next level like he did with with the Rams. You feel me?
Right. Right.
So like I said, overall, I try not to be over boisterous about how we pick, because like I said, in the past we've just it just didn't work out well for us. That's the reason why I was giving us a moderate grade. And like I said, until you got to, outside of the Georgia guy, I got to watch and look at some of these guys in a little bit more depth to see if they are Falcons. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I understood the plan. I understood the assignment. Understood, like I said, we got a defensive minded coach, and that's what he did. So hopefully, like you just said, there's still some free agents out there that we can pull for that other wide out. Now I ain't gonna lie, between Looney and Drake, we got some good guys. We got some good guys out there, and hopefully we can figure if Pitts can one of these days, transpire with a new. Well, yeah, I say with a new quarterback this year at the helm as starter. So, and
I
maybe
don't know. Y'all might want to give up on that Pitts project. It's not looking too good.
it's
Was it
not,
year
but
four
at the same
or
time,
five?
huh?
Is it year 4 for him or 5
This is
for
5.
Pitts?
Yeah,
Ugh.
this is 5 year for Pitts. You know what I'm saying? Now I'll say this here now. Now let's be fair and transparent. This is his third coach in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Right.
And his third coach and fourth offensive coordinator. So And then, like I said, one of those 2 years, I say two, that one season where he got injured, it went into 3 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Last year was the first year that he was actually healthy the whole season. But then after game 10, because he had 3 touchdowns, but after game 10, then we realized that our quarterback had some issues.
Right.
So it's just I'm not saying that we can't get rid of him, but I'm saying this will be his prove it year.
Definitely.
If we hadn't got rid of him,
Right.
I
agree.
yeah, man. So that part of it didn't bother me. Now let me go back to your Steelers here. I was listening to one guy. Are you guys really putting your eggs on Mason Rudolph in terms of being the starter, or are you guys letting Rodgers, dangle y'all like a donkey with a carrot?
It's looking like right now. It's looking like Aaron Rodgers is definitely in a position where he's pulling our strings like a puppet. Yeah. But me personally, and y'all might think I'm crazy, I'm cool with Mason Rudolph being the quarterback for the this upcoming season.
Mason Rudolph?
Yeah, Mason Rudolph. Like my friends kill me about this all the time. They think I'm insane, but I follow Mason Rudolph since he was in Oklahoma State, and back a few years back, he's the reason why we made the playoffs. We had who was our Kenny Pickett. Kenny Pickett was our quarterback. Kenny Pickett got hurt. Mason Rudolph came in and he finished the season undefeated. He beat the Ravens to go to the playoffs. He beat the Bengals, the Browns. Well, the Browns,
Hold on. Wait. I can't let you continue to do this with a straight face, man. Are you saying in this AFC with the stacked stud quarterbacks that's in this league, you're gonna put Mason Rudolph in this picture to get y'all over the hump, back into the playoff hunt?
But he's done it before. He has proven success. So after when he got us to the playoffs the first time, I said, okay, me personally, the very next season I was like, yeah, why not give him a shot? But of course we ended up getting Justin Fields, and then we got Russell Wilson, and then he ended up going to Tennessee. Things didn't work out at Tennessee. He came back home. Why not give him an opportunity to show that, yeah, it wasn't a fluke?
This is a 5-year man. You got 2, right?
Yes.
And you're saying he needs another chance. So like
he needs the chance. He got, like I said, he got us to the playoffs. We just lost to the Bills, and it was a close game.
The Bills still here, right? The Bills still have that same quarterback. They still got that same roster.
Yeah, I understand that, but I wanted him to have the opportunity the first time around. He didn't get the opportunity. They let him go, or he tested free agency. He got signed by Tennessee. That's what happened with that situation. I wanted them to bring him back and show, okay, yeah, that playoff run that I went on wasn't a fluke. I'm really that guy.
And, you with me? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And in the NFL, some players get it quicker than others. You got some players that come in their first year and end up being Jaden Daniels, and you got some players that come in their 8th year and end up having the success of who did it take longer for?
Nobody.
Wait, hold on now. I'm pretty sure it's somebody out there. Baker Mayfield. It took Baker Mayfield years to become.
Don't do that. Baker Mayfield has been a starter
back-to-back NFC South titles. So don't do that.
Come on, G. Can I? You with me, G?
I'm here.
What's your take on Mason Rudolph for your man Remus and his Steelers?
Mason Rudolph is for the trash can.
That's because y'all wasn't watching the games.
Man, we watched the game. Mason Rudolph he's not an NFL quarterback. He's only getting a position because of why.
He was the reason why we made the playoffs. everybody and their mama said when Mason Rudolph got the start, everybody and their mama said, "Oh yeah, the Steelers aren't making the playoffs this year." And he went on a 5-0 run to get us to the playoffs.
So
Y'all
did
defense went on a
Donald.
5-0 run.
He wasn't
Y'all
being
defense went on a
scrubs.
5-0 run.
You said what?
I said
What'd you
y'all
say?
defense went on a 5-0 run. Y'all Mason Rudolph
Whoa.
wasn't doing nothing. Don't
That's
do
that's
that.
BS. That's BS because the Bengals game he threw what 4 touchdowns or 3 touchdowns?
He threw
You talking
4
about that
touchdowns.
luck
He didn't
game
have
that y'all?
200 yards.
You said what?
He had like 196 yards.
Oh, that the first play went for 97-yard touchdown. So
He
that
had like
can't be true.
196 yards.
That
Y'all,
that can't be true either. George George Pickens had like 200 and something yards receiving that game. So and that wasn't his only target. So stop
Mason
it.
Rudolph is Mason Rudolph. Is not, you know, I ain't gonna let you go
No,
out
I
on
couldn't hear you.
that boat. I'm gonna bring you back in.
You said what?
Say that one more time, G.
I, I said I'm not gonna let Remus go out on that boat by himself. I'm gonna bring him on back, man. Mason Rudolph is not the guy.
Lord.
Y'all putting
Now
y'all
don't
eggs in one basket, which is I'm surprised. Y'all are depending on Aaron Rodgers, which I'm surprised.
well, according to the
Can
owner,
y'all hear
he's
me?
had yeah, we can hear you. According to the owner, he's had great conversations with Aaron Rodgers, and uh, Aaron Rodgers has been transparent with him throughout this whole process. So I'm assuming that things are going well as far as I don't know what they're talking about. Aaron Rodgers might be like, yeah, I'm dealing because I watched the Pat McAfee show and Aaron Rodgers said he was dealing with some personal issues. That's
Every year he's dealing with personal issues.
yeah,
He got to go in the woods and be by himself for 20 days. He
right,
got to go on an island, and be with his woman and be one with himself in nature.
right.
He do all of this just so he doesn't have to go to voluntary training camp or anything else like that. We understand that.
But that's a playbook from his predecessor. Brett Favre did the exact same thing. Brett
But
Favre
this,
was he might have been worse than Aaron Rodgers. Tell you the
no,
truth.
don't even do that. No, don't even do that. The only thing Brett Favre didn't want to do was voluntary OTAs. That's the only thing he did not want to do, which is a
Brett
week.
Favre was holding out a long. He was keeping teams hostage for a whole long time. That's
Only
why
one
that's
team.
why the
Only
Packers
one
got
team
rid
he
of
kept
him.
hostage,
He
and that was Green Bay.
That's why
Green,
Packers got
Green
rid of
Bay.
him. They got tired of it. They said, "All right, now."
Go ahead.
Who's that? Oh, is he froze?
Go ahead. Go ahead, G.
I think he got froze. Oh no, he back.
We yelling? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay. No, I
So
was just
let me
saying.
say this about Aaron Rodgers. Oh, my bad. Oh,
No, go ahead.
when you start talking about retirement and the NFL, you're already retired in the NFL. Aaron Rodgers, he's retired in the NFL already. He's just trying to make some extra money on the side right now. He, y'all need to cut y'all ties with that man and go on, man.
Well. So you can't really say that because once you get around that 35-ish, 40 age or whatever, these reporters are always gonna ask you about retirement. They're asking Russell Wilson, yeah, is retirement a thing? They asked Matthew Stafford, is retirement a thing? That's just the age where it comes up.
This dude is
So,
42.
who Aaron Rodgers?
But
No,
and the
yeah.
difference,
Yeah, that's pretty old.
yeah, and the difference is none of Russell Wilson ain't saying he want to retire. Russell saying he want to
He's
play.
well, yeah, you're
Aaron
right.
Rodgers has came out and said he's thinking about retirement. That's the
Yeah,
difference. He
he
said
said
he's
he
thinking
was
about
thinking,
retirement.
yeah, he did say that. Right.
Yeah,
He
so
said he did
I
say
think,
that.
Right.
And y'all still waiting on it, right? And y'all still waiting
yeah,
just for the chance.
yeah.
Well, it also kind of spans from next year's quarterback draft. Um, the Steelers they stack the table with picks or whatever. So I feel like they want one of the quarterbacks from next year's draft. I was reading the report, and I'm not necessarily sure it's going to pan out this way, but they got 8 quarterbacks projected to go in the first round next year. So
8
maybe
picks?
we just need a bridge to hold us over for next year's draft.
Wow. Okay. So that means that Tomlin has to set himself up to say, well, listen, I need y'all to put up with me for one more season, trying to make the playoffs or non-losing season and bring him back. Is that what you're saying?
I mean, not necessarily true. He just trying to get through this year, and then be like, okay, once we get through this year, because we got even if we win, we got picks to trade up. We got a lot of picks to trade up as far as compensatory goes or whatnot. But we just need to take it 1 year at a time. He be like, hey, once we get through this year, he was like, I really like what I see in next year's draft or whatever, and I know y'all are questioning the quarterback decision, but let's be real. This draft class, it wasn't quarterback heavy. It wasn't. But they're talking about next year's is supposed to be the quarterback class of the decade or something like that.
Really?
That's what they're saying.
Like with who? Who's coming out? There's
They got Arch Manning from Texas. They got Nico Imeliave from Tennessee, now UCLA. They got Drew Aller from Penn State. They got Carson Beck. I'm not really high on Carson Beck, but they say he's going to be a first round pick. They got him. They got Miller Moss from where's Miller Moss from?
I don't know. Who is Miller Moss?
He's one of the top quarterback prospects. Matter of fact, we got time. I can look it up. Miller Moss.
Okay. Well, I mean, I'll take your word for it.
Miller Moss. Miller Moss. UCS.
Okay.
Yeah. And they got that quarterback from what is it? Texas Tech, I think it is. He's pretty good. And then they have
so you're saying at least 6, probably 7 quarterbacks that they're looking towards entering in the draft?
They said 8. They got Sellers from South Carolina. He's a all-in-one package. He could do it all. So
gotcha. All right. Well, cool. Well, we'll see, brother. We'll see. On our last segment, man, if y'all want to transition to talk about the NBA for a few seconds, I'm with it. Y'all about it?
Lakers in 5. I'm just kidding.
Whoa! How about whoa? G, did you have anything else on the NFL? And if not, we'll transition to the NBA for a few minutes if you got it. What you say?
We can transition on.
That's what's up, man. So look, as of right now, we got one team that's teetering on a 3-1 series change. We also got 2 teams that have right now close to punching their ticket. We have Minnesota that is now up 3-1 against the Lakers, and a controversial New York game that has now put them up 3-1.
Yeah.
Right now Indiana has got a commanding 2-1 lead, and so far, like I said, Boston is taking care of business with Orlando, and it looks like they're about to do the same. Yeah. Tell me what y'all thinking about these playoffs so far. I'll let you go. Oh, go ahead, Remus.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm kind of shocked with the results with the Lakers. The Lakers once the Luka trade got done, and once LeBron and Luka started meshing, they look like a dominant threat. And they went on a run. They I feel they're the 3rd seed right now, right?
If I'm not mistaken. Lakers, yeah, I think so.
Yeah, and they were beating some teams. They beat OKC twice. They beat the Nuggets. So I thought they were going to be a hard out, but these young boys over there in Minnesota, they're not playing around. He's serious. Anthony Edwards is bringing it every single night. So that series is taking me taking things by storm. I'm aware of the controversial call over there with the Knicks, but I don't know. They might have lost that game anyway. So uh,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm still gonna rock with the Knicks. Um, Magic, they fighting, but let's be real. We all knew what was gonna happen in that series. Like I'm watching this kid Tatum, and they just can't do nothing with him. He poor Pablo. He's trying his best to defend against Tatum, and Tatum just lighting him up every single time. They ISO him, and he just giving it to him. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So what else game did you say? Oh,
Well,
Pacers.
outside of Cleveland, which we know they're gonna take care of the Heat. But I
Mhm.
was saying, like I said, the Knicks and Pistons, and like I said, you were talking about Rockets and Warriors coming up too. Like I said, that's a heavy series. I've been watching that too, but at the same time, I was just asking, what was I guess your highs and lows on these playoffs. And I guess once you finish, I'm gonna ask G the same thing.
Mm. I see. I missed the Pacers and the Bucks. It looks like it's a little chippiness between Halliburton and Dame Lillard. Like uh, I know when the Pacers initially went up in the series, Halliburton was talking mess, and then Dame came back. What game? Dame came back. Game 2 or 3. Which
He
one did
came
you see?
back in I think it was a game 2, but it wasn't really a whole
Two.
lot there. But between that and 3, but he was there to support, but he hadn't been to himself. You know what I
Right.
mean?
Yeah, but Halliburton was letting them know. He was like, "Yeah," he was like, "This is my show, and you just a supporting character in my show at this point."
Right. What's your
So,
take, G?
Um, as what I expected out of the Minnesota Lakers game. I just felt like
why are you such a hater, bro? You
the
hating on your
Lakers
own
didn't.
team.
The Lakers don't match up well with Minnesota, and you had a player in Anthony Edwards who wanted to show the world that he's the next thing coming. And what better way to do it than to beat LeBron James and beat Luca, who beat you last year? So I kind of figured that was going to happen, and
He
and
ain't
you
tired
see
this
what
year.
kind, yeah, you see the type of, and we always complain about, well, I complain about LeBron not being a dog. If you see at the end of the game, not this today, but last game, and a most important game 3, LeBron James down 7 points is laughing with Anthony Edwards. They're down 7 points with a minute left in the game, a minute something left in the game, and he's laughing because LeBron don't care that he's about to lose because he had
Yeah.
38 points.
What does
He
Yeah.
he
that matter? He
he
dropped
got his points.
38 points.
He's
You're
still he's still stat padding.
losing. You're
He's
losing.
not. He's trying to
You're
win the
losing. So
game.
he
He's
doesn't care about
literally
losing.
trying to win the
No,
game.
he doesn't. He don't care about that part. He
Why?
doesn't care.
No, he
He
dropped
doesn't
38.
care because it's,
If
he
you didn't care,
because
you
he,
wouldn't
he,
do what
he
you could to win. He's
he's about
doing
the
what he can
points.
to win. It's the rest of the team that
That's
doesn't
exactly
care.
what he's
If
saying,
anything,
and that's what he's saying. I did what I can. My team didn't win. I didn't lose. My team lost. I didn't
is he
lose
lying?
because I put yes. It's
Oh my
it's
gosh, really? He's lying? So who else is dropping
it's
38, G? Who else
is
is it?
is he
Who
not the
else is
leader
getting
of the
triple
team?
doubles at the age of
Is
41
is
or
he?
42?
He's the leader of the team. This is the problem I have with him. He's the leader of the team, and he don't want to take any fault for the team losing because he got
Where
38
is his
points.
fault
He
in?
didn't get
That
enough.
he's laughing?
Then he should have got 80. He should have got 81 then. If he only
Okay,
got 38, then
you,
he should have got 81.
who's getting 81 at
That's
the
what a,
age of
that's what a
41?
winner does. A winner doesn't say I got you 38. What else you want me to do? What
Yeah,
kind of
you,
stuff is
you,
that? You
you're not.
lost.
You know what the your generation's problem is? Y'all don't respect the younger generation. That's what it is. Like
What?
y'all, that's what it is. Y'all don't respect the younger generation.
Man, that's messed up.
Y'all in love with these Michael Jordans and these Kobe Bryants and whatever. They drop 80 points and 60 points in playoff games and whatever. That time's past. He's literally a facilitator. He gets everybody involved, but y'all want him to be Michael Jordan level. That's
A
not his
killer. I
game.
want him to be a killer. I want
But
him
that
to. We
he he's not Michael Jordan.
well
He
stop
hasn't
stop
pretended to be
stop.
Michael Jordan.
Stop saying he's the goat. Then
He
we'll leave it
is
at that.
he is the GOAT.
He's the goat. He's the goat in stats. He's a stat. He's a stat goat.
but
When
but
I talk to my grandkids 50 years from now, how am I going to disprove him? He got the scoring title. He got the assist title. He got rebounds. What else do I have to prove to them?
he
Now
got
remember,
turnovers
Kareem.
too. He got
Yeah, I
turnovers.
about to say, yep, he got the
He
most. But
got
now
turnovers.
remember,
Don't leave that out.
now look,
And
in
most
our,
missed.
you
And
keep
most
putting
Oh,
us
missed
in a
so
shots.
you
different.
was negative. I
Look,
feel you.
you keep
Got
putting us in a
And,
different age bracket. But
you're a
remember,
hater.
like I said, the guy that had that was Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. But we wasn't talking about him like he was the goat either, because Mike was there.
Well, social media wasn't around back then, so it's kind of
It
hard
don't
to say.
matter, but the stats were.
It does. It matters. We didn't have the platform to have these conversations back in the day.
so
We didn't even have
I
internet
think
back in the day.
so. Overall though, I think the playoffs have been great. I like the next Detroit game. They are battling tough. The
Yes.
Pacers and Bucks
But
are
yeah,
going at it. I love that. This is playoff basketball. You see the Clippers and the Nuggets going at it as well. That's playoff basketball. And then the Warriors and Warriors and Rockets. They're I loved it. This is what I like. I like the competition. I like the competing. There is no friends in basketball right there. And them other series, there ain't nobody out there friendly. They are going at each other's throats. Only
yeah.
one going friendly is the Lakers and Wolves.
Okay, I'm looking at the stats from today's game. LeBron dropped 27, 12, and 8. What more do you want from him?
The dub.
Yeah, the
It's
dub.
basketball is a team sport. They lost as a team.
All
He
right, let
didn't
me ask
lose
you
that
this:
game.
How many? How many did Joker, not Joker, did Luca? How many he dropped for?
Luca dropped 38.
All right, you ain't say nothing about him. You ain't say nothing about him.
No, because we wasn't talking about Luca. We were talking about LeBron
but,
James.
but you said what else can LeBron do? Luca had 38, and you said nothing about Luca. Luca had more than him. Get 38.
The ball wasn't in his hands. Luca also shot 28 times.
Hey, but you don't think that ball touched LeBron James? He'll pass it off now.
Yeah, he led the team in assists. He led
Well,
the team in assists
that- well,
and rebounds. The
that's
only
because
thing
that's
he
all we
didn't
care
lead,
about.
the only
Stats,
team, the
stats,
only thing.
stats.
Okay, if you're passing the ball, I don't understand why. Well, that's a you're getting everybody involved. You're
So,
facilitating the game. That's what he's doing.
so, so, what do you think that teams would rather everybody else score, not LeBron, or LeBron score?
If it could help him win, he would
No,
prefer if
no, no, no.
everybody else scored.
They would prefer. That's right. They would prefer everybody else to score. So giving the ball up don't mean nothing to everybody else. They cool with that. They are okay with that.
Who's okay with it?
The other teams. Oh yeah, LeBron pass that ball up. Good. Be a good team player, LeBron. Don't worry about it. Be a good team player.
So
Look,
your
Hey,
issue
go
right
home.
now.
Hey,
So
hey,
your
hey, go
issue.
home.
It sounds like what you're trying to say is your issue is LeBron didn't shoot the ball 28 times. That's your issue.
LeBron doesn't play to win. LeBron plays to get stats. That's my issue.
I feel like you're acting like Skip Bayless at this point. Like
That man sound like
you
Skip
have no
Bayless.
reason to hate on LeBron this hard. He plays for your favorite team.
Ain't your favorite team no more.
Who your favorite team now? G? Who
That
your
man,
favorite
look,
team?
look,
ATL, ATL, ATL.
So
that man
so
hawking.
let me ask you a question. And this is a serious question. Why is it wait, hold on just a second.
Oh, how he doing
I
that?
got, I, I,
Oh,
I
Hello?
got like 5%.
you got
Yeah,
5%?
let me call you back.
Okay. Hey,
All right.
Remus. Look,
So
hold up. My man said he had 5% on his juice, man. So we're gonna have to call it. You know what I'm saying?
all right,
Um,
that's cool.
yeah.
Mhm.
Episodes, what is this? Episode 79,
80,
G?
80.
This is 80. My bad. Episode 80 in the books, man. You want to close us out, G?
Hey, man, we appreciate each and every one of y'all rocking with us. My guy, James Little John, NF Skull. Hey, big shout out to Remus, man, for coming on,
And thanks for
filling
having me
in
again.
for OG and myself. We appreciate it, man. You're always welcome, my dog. My dog James Littlejohn, Roddy Littlejohn, my dog Kamari White. Make sure y'all check him and his wife out. The Christmas podcast every Tuesday. They got a great episode coming out this week. And thank you once again to our sponsor, um, Cooking Dad Drink Reviews, man. Thank you for being a wonderful sponsor of the crew and you. Um, Anybody else that may have been out there that I don't see, man, charge to my eyes, not my heart. We love y'all. Remember to keep your head on the swivel and keep God first. We'll see y'all on Sunday, on Wednesday, baby, 8 o'clock. We out. Peace.
Ah,
What?
holla. I
What a
appreciate it.
music.
Corey in charge
Don't
of the
worry about
music.
it.
You said
I was about
just
to say,
end it.
I
In
did.
the
I ain't.
song.
Look. Oh, man.